Hello, Great Northern. Yes, sir. I have very big plans, Northern, and you're a big part of them. Mr. Thompson, sir, I really don't think Great Northern is the best candidate. He was the first A1 built. He's much too valuable. That's exactly why he's my first choice. I want to prove to everyone that this is a Thompson railway now. Gresley is a thing of the past. Rebuilding his first A1 into one of my designs is the best way to prove that. But, sir, just think of Sir Great Northern. I've got a major rebuild in store for you. You'll be a different engine, better than any Gresley design out there. With all due respect, sir, I really don't think I'm the best choice. Oh, really? Well then, my second choice is luckily right here. Flying Scotsman, you are to report to Doncaster Works to be rebuilt into a new mixed traffic outline. Sir, I apologize. I have been rash. Please, allow me to be rebuilt. I knew you'd come around, Great Northern. You know where to go. Great Northern, I can't believe you did that for me. Grizzly engines look after their own, Scotsman. The nerve of that Thompson, wanting to smear Grizzly's good name. Ha, well, if he thinks he'll do that by altering the First Pacific, he's wrong. He doesn't know about Gordon. Ha ha, no he doesn't. Toby, I don't know what happened. The bridge just collapsed. I know. It's that Spencer. I knew he shouldn't have been on the branch line. I warned him, but he took no notice. Now he's caused a serious accident. Oh? How'd this happen? Spencer! So, Toby, Henrietta, you say that Spencer was on the branch line? Yes, sir, and he crossed the bridge twice. I was with him once, as a stand-in for the brake van, you understand. Well, that's sensible. A train should always have somewhere for the guard to sit, just in case he's needed. Not so much for the braking power, but the guard himself. But it is certainly not sensible for Spencer to have gone on this line. He's heavier than Gordon, and we completely forbid him from traveling on the Farquhar branch. The Duke and Duchess have loaned me Spencer for heavy goods duties on the main line, but I never asked Spencer to head the train down this line. Sir, if I remember correctly, a few days ago, there were a few trains of empties bound for Knapford waiting at Tidmouth. Do you think Spencer might have taken one of them all the way to Anofa, instead of leaving them at the junction for one of us? I think that's very likely, Percy. Luckily, no one was hurt, but one thing is certain. Spencer and his crew are very lacking in proper railway knowledge, and I must see to that at once if they are to work on my railway. Gordon, I have organised an express train to London for you and Spencer to double head. It came to my attention yesterday that Spencer has been showing a great lacking in railway knowledge, and I think he should work under the supervision of more experienced engines for a while. Sir, of course I am very proud to be recognized as experienced, but isn't there another engine who Spencer can shadow? I really don't care to spend a day with him. Spencer will be working with many engines, Gordon, but if he is to learn about express duties, you are the best choice. Now, your train is waiting for you at platform 1. Well, then I suppose I must go, but I won't like it. I know Gordon and Spencer don't really see eye to eye, but I would think Gordon would at least enjoy an express run to London. Well, much has changed about Gordon since we have first known him. He has had some trying times, though he almost never talks about them. What does that have to do with not wanting to go to London? Hurry up, hurry up! I can't get on the train until you do.
You have to be gentle when you're handling hundreds of passengers, Spencer. You only ever carry 2.
I've carried long passenger trains before.
Oh yes, more than 50 years ago. I'd imagine you're a little rusty.
Well, I hear you haven't pulled the Wild Nor'wester for 5 years.
Like that's any contest. I can see we're off to an excellent start.
I must admit, I never thought that hero would be so useful. Those Crovan's Gate engineers were miracle workers.
They still are, I have no doubt. Not Doncaster class, of course, but they're worth it.
Well, I certainly didn't see a scrap engine as salvageable, but I suppose throwing money at a project will get you anything.
He was never a scrap engine, Spencer. It was him being abandoned where he was that kept him away from the cutter's torch.
He had enough rust for a scrap engine.
How can you speak about a hero like that, Spencer? In fact, if I recall correctly, he was kind enough to forgive you after
what, Gordon?
After you tried to get him scrapped! Myself and the other engines have disowned deals just for threatening to do that, but Hero was kind and patient. He forgave you for something unforgivable.
All I know now, Gordon, is that before he was not useful, and now he is. There's no longer any reason to have him removed.
Are you suggesting that you do it again? That you've learned nothing? The only reason we still tolerate you here after that display is Hero forgiving you. We trust his judgment.
Pah! I'm glad he's kept my reputation safe, Gordon, but you shouldn't trust his judgment. He was weak. He couldn't compete, so he was abandoned.
Spencer, it's talk like that lost us so many cousins and brothers. Certainly you wish no one had ever spoken the way you are speaking now. We'd still have our relatives.
Well, it's the way of the world, Gordon. I have no delusion about that.
But you must have some regret, some deep grief over so many losses. The feeling that you could have done more.
Well, do you?
Absolutely. Ha-ha, record time. My best run in days, wouldn't you say, driver?
Oh, well, Gordon, we're 10 minutes early.
Where is the shunter? We're going to have a good many passengers for the return trip. We'll need another coach.
Our shunter has derailed in the shunting yard, but you could get to the coaches fine if you hurry.
Me? Shunt? Whatever is British Railways coming to?
We'll have to do it, Gordon. We can't disappoint the passengers.
No, indeed. We'll need to fetch another coach ourselves, no doubt. Let's be off, then. I say, this isn't the yard.
Please,
what?
Help, get us out of here.
Oh, God.
Please, help, get us out of
Gordon,
here. Please, help. Gordon, help us. Gordon, help us. Gordon, you have to get us out of here. Gordon, is that you? Gordon, help us. Gordon.
Save us, Gordon. Please, do something. I can't. It's not. Traitor! Leaving your own kind to die. Traitor! Traitor!
Hello, St. Simon. Keeping your spirits up? Blink, have no fear. Ah, hello, Lemmy. Hello, Spencer. Things are looking pretty bad. Well, why's that? I'm in worse condition than most of the Pacifics here. I don't know how long I have. I'm sure you'll be preserved, Lemberg. No one would dare touch you. Really? Well, Thanks, Spencer. I really feel like I have a chance now. Of course you do, Lemmy. Don't mention it. Lemberg just told me of his condition. I think he'd be the best to cut up next. He doesn't seem to be rusted through, so you'll get quite a bit out of him. Right, Spencer. I think we'll keep you around a bit longer if you keep telling us this stuff. You do that, you won't regret it.
You really don't feel guilt for not being able to save our relatives? We could have done more, and if anything, the younger engines should have been the survivors. Don't you think?
They were foolish, so I had no trouble.
No trouble doing what?
No trouble, getting over their deaths, of course.
Spencer, what were you really about to say?
Gordon, in the presence of the torch, it's every engine for himself. How would my chances be if I looked out for others?
My God, you don't mean... Is that how you see things? Did you just see the other A3s and the A4s and the Hero as just competition?
In the grand scheme of things, that's all anyone ever is, Gordon.
Spencer, Grizzly engines look after their own. We defend one another till the bitter end. To think of all the noble sacrifices my brothers have made, the ones I have made. Have you made none?
If you were willing to fight for what was yours, Gordon, you would still be pulling the express.
I may be proud, but to risk the success of my railway and risk all of my friends' safety as preserved engines, I would have to be a monster. I am no monster.
And that is where you fall short, Gordon. All talk. You say you're the best, but you won't enforce it. Us 7, the remaining 6 A4s and I, we were ruthless. We didn't give passes to the weak engines in the scrapyards. That's why there are 7 of us and only 2 of you.
Did you? Could you have really condoned the scrapping of your own family?
I secured my life, Gordon. Nothing more.
You're sick. You're not a Grizzly engine. You're an abomination. A traitor.
Calm down, Gordon. That was nearly 50 years ago. Now let's pull into the station, have a rest, and head back to Tidmouth.
No, I'm heading back to Tidmouth. You're staying here on this god-forsaken railway. I do not want to see you back on my island.
Gordon, where's Spencer?
Sir, that engine is a lost cause.
Hello, Gordon. How was the run?
I don't wish to speak of it, Edward.
Well, it's not healthy to keep it to yourself.
You've known me for a long time, Edward. Back when I was young and green and so full of life. I only wonder if Spencer could have ever been like that.
Young and green?
You know what I mean, Edward. Innocent, not so full of malice.
I must admit, I've expected this for quite some time.
Expected what?
Why, that Spencer was a traitor to the other Pacifics. Probably to many other engines, too.
You knew? And you didn't tell me?
There was no use in alarming you until I was sure. Do you remember that foggy evening that Percy didn't come home?
Yes, back when the Farquhar branch was out of operation, and he was sleeping here.
Did I shout out that he was bound to have had an accident somewhere?
Well, no. Wait a minute. That was the time that despicable Spencer brought him home. To think we let him near him. To think that Spencer brought him home.
Yes, well, Spencer brought him home. I know you're devastated, Gordon. Anyone would be. But I'm sure Spencer must have been terrified to do what he did.
Could it really be, Edward, that 7 of my cousins are ruthless traitors? That they are all like Spencer?
I believe that they were all scared, without forethought, and unsure of the future. The fact is, Gordon, that you only have a few remaining relatives. You shouldn't disown them completely.
They are responsible for the scrapping of my family, Edward. That is unforgivable. And to think that this secret was kept from me for so long, and Spencer has no regret at all.
Gordon, for Spencer to keep that secret so long, he must have some respect for you. And most importantly, for him to keep that secret, he must feel guiltier than you could possibly imagine.